Yes, I'm here. Don't worry. Don't panic. I have arrived. Slightly later than usual, for which I apologise. A lot of things going on here today. I've never seen my house so busy as it was this morning. So many things going on, not to mention my rather awful hay fever at the moment. Everything has been going wrong this morning, let's just say. Here we are once again. We are live on YouTube. Yes, it is English Addict number 80. Wow. Coming to you from the birthplace of English, which just happens to be England. Can I just take a couple of deep breaths? Do you mind? Maybe you can join in. Oh, that's better. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? Are you happy? I really hope so. Oh my goodness, what a morning. We've had lots of people here for reasons that I will explain at a later date. Not today, but I will talk about it maybe later on another live stream for another time. However, also, I've been suffering so badly with hay fever. My hay fever over the past 2 days has been awful. You might be able to hear my voice is a little bit rough. I've been sneezing, coughing, my eyes have been so painful and sore. The pollen count has been sky high. And of course, the problem with hay fever is you can take medicine to help you. However, it makes you very tired, which also isn't a good thing. So there isn't a good solution, unfortunately. If you suffer from hay fever like me, you will know that during the summer months it can be quite bad, and for the past 48 hours I've been really unwell with hay fever. However, I am here with you today. We are back live. It is another live stream, and yes, we have made it all the way to the middle of the week. It's Wednesday. That's strange. What's going on there? Let me just sort that out. Oh, that's better. That looks better. Yes, I like that. That looks much better. Yes, definitely. Much better. Whew, what a day. So my hay fever has been bad. One of the problems at the moment, of course, if you go out amongst other people and you start sneezing, you will cause, quite often, a little bit of panic and worry, because people will think that you are unwell with something else. So that's another problem with having hay fever, especially during this strange time that we are all going through. It's been a very strange 24 hours, I must be honest. I hope you are okay. Yes, we have the live chat. We also have some nature coming today. Yes, there are many little chicks flying around. And a couple of days ago, I was lucky enough to be able to film some baby chicks, and they were discovering water. They were in my bird bath, and they were swimming, fluttering, and also calling out to their parents as well. So I couldn't resist spending a couple of moments actually filming them. It was lovely. And we will be looking at that later on as well. Lots of flowers coming out in the garden. Many people ask, Mr. Duncan, we love seeing your flowers. Can you show us your plants and some of the nature in your garden? Here is something. Oh, this is nice. This is a beautiful flower that also has a very beautiful scent. This is called a mock orange. It's a great name. And this particular flower has the most amazing perfume. In the evening, as the sun begins to set, you will often smell this flower. The aroma and the scent from this flower will make its way. It will blow all around the garden. The gentle breeze in the evening will carry the scent of this particular flower, and it has the most gorgeous, sweet scent. Mock orange, it is called. And you can see this particular plant has lots of flowers. You can also see some bees as well. The bees are busy. In fact, you might say they are as busy as bees. They are collecting some of the pollen. And of course, this is one of the things that causes my hay fever. So one of the many beautiful plants growing in the garden, and the other night I was in the garden enjoying the beautiful aroma, whilst at the same time I was sneezing my head off. Ooh, yes, and something else I want to show you. Something else I want to let you see. You will notice that we still have the cows at the back of the house. And there you can see there are the cows. Hello, hello Mrs. Cow, I can see you. And there are lots of cows at the back of the house. Sometimes they come up to say hello, and sometimes they pretend not to notice me. And as you can see, most of them are ignoring me completely. They just don't care about Mr. Duncan. They want to eat some grass. So that's what they're doing. And there is one. Oh, yes. Oh, you have noticed me, haven't you? With your nice big shiny horns. Some people say, Mr. Duncan, cows do not have horns. Well, some actually do. There are cows that have horns, and there you can see one there. Right now at the back of my house. Oh, you've decided to go, have you? Okay then, bye. Bye, Mr. Cow. That's it. They've had enough. Some very strange things happening today, by the way. Technology has decided to give me a very hard time as well. I'm having a little bit of difficulty also with my technology. You might notice one or two problems today with my live stream. If there are any problems, can I just apologise for that as well? I seem to be spending a lot of today's live stream saying sorry, for which I apologise. I'm even apologising for apologising. Can you do that? I'm not sure. Anyway, we are here, and of course we have the live chat as well. I can't forget you, because you are the reason why I am here, talking about the English language, and you can normally find me here 3 times a week. My name is Mr. Duncan, and I teach English on Sunday, Wednesday and Friday from 2 p.m. UK time. So for those who don't know who I am, yes, my name is Mr. Duncan, and teaching English is what I do. Today we are talking about uses and also ways of expressing public. Public, being out and about, being on show. being seen by other people. So we often talk about being in a public space or being seen by other people in the general public. I hope you can still see me all right, because my YouTube feed keeps cutting off. I hope you can see me all right. I don't know why today all my technology has started playing against me for some reason. I don't know why. Hello, Mosen. You are first on today's live chat. Congratulations to you. Some things are different today because I'm in the house, as you may have noticed. The view outside is a little rough. So there you can see one of my cameras looking out of the window, and here is another view. Oh, look at that. You can see everything is looking very green. However, it also is very wet today. Quite wet here in the UK. And we've had rain all morning. Even though it's quite warm, it isn't cold by any means, but we have had a lot of rain over the past 12 hours. Things are looking pretty damp. And that is the reason why I've decided to stay in the house today. So I'm in the house, I'm in the studio, and I will be here in my studio for the whole of the live stream, unfortunately, because the weather is not very good today. Hello also Connell, Beatrice, Vitas, Grace. Nice to see you here today. Even though I'm not feeling great, I will be honest with you. I have hay fever and my eyes are burning. My nose is painful. My voice has almost disappeared because that's what happens when you get hay fever, unfortunately. So all of the pollen from the flowers and the grass and the trees has gone up my nose. And the rain hasn't even helped. Now you would imagine that the rain would actually help to ease my hay fever, but unfortunately it has not. Hello Belarusia, nice to see you here as well. I know that there will be one person missing today, and that is Luis. Luis Mendez is away at the moment, so we won't see Luis Mendez today. He's gone to the seaside. Very nice. Hello, Alessandra. Also, Mirella. Hello, Mirella. Nice to see you here today. I hope you are feeling good. Yes, we've made it all the way to Wednesday. Everything here in the UK is slowly going back to normal. I don't know about where you are, but I know many countries now are really pushing and moving quite quickly with their attempt to return to normal. And the same thing is happening here in the UK. Many businesses have reopened. A lot of people have gone back to work. Some people have now been allowed outside who weren't before due to certain illnesses. So people who were shielded are now allowed outside. Great. So things are slowly changing. We will see what happens next. There are those who think that we are doing it too quickly, and there are those who think we are doing it too slowly. However, things are slowly going back to normal here in the UK. Hello, Robin. Hello, Emilio. Hello, also Pedro Belmont. Ooh, Pedro Belmont is here today. Nice to see you here also. Irene, Mika, Ivan. Hello, Ivan. Nice to see you with me as well today. It is Live English with English Addict for those who can't get enough of the beautiful language. By the way, if you want to have captions, you can. You can press C on your keyboard and you will have captions. So all you have to do is take your finger and click C on your keyboard and you will have live captions. Very nice, Mr. Duncan. Anna is here. Also Irene. Hello, Irene. Thank you very much for your very interesting email, by the way. Very interesting about your husband's family. I was quite intrigued, to be honest. Very interested. Can I say a big thank you before I go any further? Can I say thank you very much to... can I say thank you to Anna Picarosi and also Petros Dimitriadis. Thank you, both of you, for your kind donations that I received this week. So can I say thank you once more, Anna and also Petros. Thank you for your lovely donations. And if you want to make a donation to allow my work to continue, then you are more than welcome to do so. There is the address now on your screen. Thank you very much once again. Hello also Del. Hello Del. Have I seen you here before? I don't recognise your name. What a week it's been. Mr. Steve's grass has had its first cut. So last weekend, Mr. Steve went out into the garden and he cut his new grass. Would you like to see it? Here it is. So here is Mr. Steve's new grass. And yes, it is growing quite nicely, as you can see. Looking rather nice. There are some patches, but a little bit later on, hopefully those patches will fill in as the grass grows. You will find that more grass will start to appear. So it will become thicker and thicker as time goes by. So there it is, Mr. Steve's brand new grass. And it looks lovely. It's really coming up nicely. We've had a lot of sunshine over the past few days, which has encouraged Steve's grass quite a bit. For those who were wondering. I always embarrass Mr. Steve because he doesn't think this is very interesting. He doesn't think that his grass is interesting to you. What about you? Are you interested in Mr. Steve's grass? Maybe, maybe not. Hello also to, we have also Flower Espoir, Triton of the Sea. Hello, Triton of the Sea. Another very interesting name on the live chat. Yes, it is a rainy day here in England. We are having a very unsettled day, to be honest. We are going to look at words connected to public being in the public, being in a public space, being amongst other people. Of course, over the past few weeks, being out in the public or among other people has been very hard to do. Hello, Eleanor. Hello also Beatrice, Roxy. Hello, Roxy Vieira. Nice to see you here as well on the live chat. Yes, this is live, for those who are wondering. It is now 22 minutes away from 3 o'clock on a Wednesday. And, we have a new month as well. I forgot to mention that. We have a brand new month also. June is here. And when June arrives, you know what happens. All of the animals, all of the wildlife gets very excited, especially certain animals such as birds, for example, because at the moment there are many young chicks, many young birds flying around, including some baby blue tits. Would you like to see some little baby blue tits trying to swim for the first time? You would? Okay, let's have a look right now. Oh, how cute. Some baby blue tits were flying around and, yes, they were taking their first ever bath. I'm not sure if they were enjoying it or not. It's a little difficult to tell. Oh, wasn't that lovely? Some little baby birds. That particular type of bird is called a blue tit. They are very small and their chicks are even smaller. They are so tiny. You can hold them in your hand. They are so small. And at this time of year, there are many baby birds, young birds flying around. And you will notice that those birds were very small and also young. They were intrigued by the water. They did spend a lot of time on the bird bath looking at the water before they actually went in. So they weren't in any danger because the water is not deep. So they went in, but I think they were enjoying it. So from what I can tell, from my observation, watching the birds, I think they were enjoying themselves, to be honest. I think they were having quite a nice time. Hello, TS. How can you take this picture so close? Well, the thing is, sometimes when you are photographing nature, you have to be very patient. And there is one thing that I do have. It is a lot of patience. So what I did, I waited for a long time. I stood near the bird bath until the birds became used to me. So they weren't afraid of me being nearby. So I waited for a long time, and then eventually I could get close and take my lovely photographs of the birds. So that's how I did it. You can get very near to baby birds, young fledglings, because sometimes they will not be very observant. And that's one of the reasons why many young birds are killed by predators, because they are a little bit naive. They don't understand the outside world because they've only just left the nest. You see? So that's the reason why. But I had to wait for a very long time before I could film the birds with my mobile phone. So everything you saw there was actually filmed on my little phone. But it did take a long time. I had to wait for about maybe half an hour before they became comfortable with me being nearby. And then once they became comfortable, I was able to move closer with my camera. And yes, they were having a lovely time. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed that, because I love nature so much, I really do. Thanks for your company today. We are talking about one subject today, one big subject, public, being out and about. If you are in a public place, it means you are amongst other people or among other people. In British English, we normally say amongst. In American English, they will say among, amongst. The meanings are the same. What is the difference between grass and lawn? They are actually the same thing. However, lawn normally refers to a piece of grass or an area of grass that is kept. So you make sure that it stays tidy. You will cut your lawn. So quite often we will use the word lawn when we are talking about decorative grass. Grass that exists as decoration. Lawn. However, lawns are basically grass. So they are basically the same thing, to be honest. I had a lovely meal last night. Mr. Steve made quite an incredible meal. I couldn't believe what he did. But this is what Mr. Steve gave me last night. I know it might look awful to some people, but I was so thrilled when I saw it, because it's one of my favourite meals. Oh yes, can you see what I've got there? So this is what Mr. Steve surprised me with last night. He gave me a lovely surprise. Sausages, mashed potatoes, and peas. That's what we had last night to eat. I didn't realise Steve was going to do this, but can you see what he's done with the sausages? He's actually stuck the sausages in the potato. So I know some people might say, Mr. Duncan, that looks awful. However, I was so excited. I was like a little child, because I love mashed potatoes, I love sausages, and I also like peas as well. So that's what Mr. Steve made last night for me to eat. And the sausages are actually locally made. They are made in this area. They had inside wild garlic that was picked in this area. So the sausages had wild garlic as flavouring, and can I just say, they were absolutely gorgeous. I love garlic so much. Yes, it was a big meal. Steve knows that I like potatoes. Mashed potatoes. You take your potatoes, you add a little bit of milk, a little bit of butter, and then you smash them up. You mash them until they become thick, like a very thick paste. Wow, I love mashed potatoes so much. Oh, and also Steve made some onion gravy as well. Onion gravy. Would you like to see a picture of the sausages? So there it is. There is the package that they came in. And as you can see, pork and wild garlic sausages. Oh my goodness. So not only did I have one of my favourite flavours, garlic, I also had one of my favourite foods, mashed potatoes. Amazing. But I love the way Mr. Steve stuck the sausages in the potato. I was laughing my head off. I was so excited. I screamed like a girl. That's how excited I was. We are going to take a break for a few moments. We're going to have a look at one of my full English lessons, and then we are going to be back. We will be back, don't worry. I'm not going yet. And yes, I know I was late today, but I have a good excuse. In fact, I have a lot of excuses. Here we go then. This is an excerpt from one of my full English lessons. This is one of my more recent full English lessons. This is taken from Full English number 37, and then we will be back with some words connected to being out and about in public. I like to think of myself as being a helpful chap. I always try to give a helping hand whenever I can. So today I will start with a useful tip for those planning to come to the UK. My tip for survival today is never accept a £50 note from anyone. I'm not kidding. If you are ever offered a £50 note as payment or in change, you must refuse it. Do not take the £50 note. Why, I hear you ask? The answer is simple, because you will never get rid of it. No one will accept a £50 note. Shops will not take them. You will not be able to get change for it. No one knows what a real £50 note looks like. People just assume they are all fake. So, just to reiterate, don't accept a £50 note from anyone, anywhere, at any time. Hi everybody and welcome to another full English lesson. Let's get on with it, shall we? Let's do it. Let's learn some more English. Right? Ding! Now! Many people have asked me, Mr. Duncan, what is the best way to speak English? Is it with an American accent or a British accent? I think this is a very interesting question indeed, and some might say that it is not easy to answer. But my answer to this question is quite simple. You use the English you feel the most comfortable with. You don't have to sound like an American when you're speaking. You don't have to sound like a British person when you're speaking. As long as you feel comfortable with the way you use English, that is the most important thing of all. Of course, it's also important that the other person understands what you are saying as well. So don't worry too much about sounding like somebody else. Don't punish yourself by trying to copy someone else's way of speaking. What you have to do is develop your own way of using English. Don't forget, English is an emotional language. It's a personal language. It's a language that you use to express the way you feel. So don't worry about sounding like somebody else. Use English as you would your own language, in your own way, to express the way you feel. So you don't have to sound like Mr. Duncan. You don't have to sound like some American movie star. You don't have to sound like anybody. What you have to sound like is you. Have you ever been on a busman's holiday? Have you ever heard of this expression before? Well, let me explain what it is. A busman's holiday is an expression that describes a situation where a person is doing something for relaxation that they would be normally doing in their occupation. That is to say, they are trying to take a break away from their work by doing something that relates to their actual job. For example, if I went away for a trip to London for a break, away from making video lessons, and whilst there I went to visit the YouTube headquarters to talk to someone about video production, then you might describe this as a busman's holiday. I am doing something in my free time that relates to my actual job. We can call anything related to a person's profession as a busman's holiday, if the thing in question can be connected to their normal occupation. A doctor might visit a museum of medicine during a vacation. A firefighter might have to put out a blaze at a hotel they are staying at. A person who drives a bus for a living might have to drive the family around whilst on holiday. Hence the expression busman's holiday. I always like to introduce new words and phrases to you, and today is no exception. The phrase I'm going to show you today refers to a certain item of clothing. The phrase is old hat. Here you can see in my hand one of my old hats that I used to wear. The phrase old hat means to be obsolete or tired out by being done too often or for too long. A thing that has been said or done time and time again over a long period of time can be referred to as old hat. It has been done so many times before, most people have become bored with it. A tired and overdone thing is old hat. This new superhero movie plot is so old hat. An out-of-date thing or something that is seen as old-fashioned can be described as old hat. It is no longer fashionable. It is boring. It has been done too often for too long. It is old hat. The phrase derives from the notion of something being worn too often, such as an old hat, to the point where it looks tired and worn out. It has been used for a very long time. I hope you enjoyed that. One of my many English lessons that you can find on my YouTube channel. And that was an excerpt from one of my full English lessons. You can find all of my lessons on my YouTube channel. We are live across the internet and I've just been eating some biscuits. Another thing I didn't mention, I haven't had anything to eat today. So I suddenly felt very hungry. I had to have something to eat. So I've just had some biscuits. I ate them too quickly though, as you can probably imagine. When you're hungry, quite often you eat too quickly and it's not a good thing to do. You should never eat your food too fast. Anyway, we are all here together on Wednesday, the 3rd of June. Ooh, it does sound nice, even though the weather today does not feel very summer-like, unfortunately. No, it does not. Tomorrow, when I'm listening to American English, I usually understand worse. The Americans speak very quickly. Some people in the USA do speak quickly. There is a certain pattern of speech that happens. Yes, I think you're right. And also, what's the other thing I was going to say there? You will also find that there are people in the USA who don't speak quickly. They have a very level and steady pace of speech. But you will find the same thing here in the UK as well. You will find there are people who use British English who speak quickly, and there are those who speak at a steady rate. So not everyone speaks quickly, and not everyone speaks slowly. Hello, Robin. Mr. Duncan, I have now finished work and I have to go shopping, and later I will watch your video. Don't worry, Robin, as long as you come back safe and sound, and I will be here, or at least my video will be here for you to watch again. Hello also, Alessandra. Nice to see you as well. It's good to see Pedro Belmont is now recovered. It looks as if Pedro is well after his brush with you know what. I think so. It is 3 o'clock here in the UK, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't know what time it is where you are because I'm not there, you see. And this is English Addict. I suppose over the next few days, people are now going to start going outside. They will be allowed to go out in public. And I thought it would be interesting to have a look at some words and phrases connected to that very subject. So here are some words, some phrases, some ways of talking about public, being in public, and words relating to public. Here is the first one. So let's have a look, shall we? Well, we have the word public. The word public actually comes from Latin, publico, of the people. So when we use the word public, we are literally talking about the people, of the people, the community, the population, the people that live in your area, the people that live in your country. And if you are out and about amongst people, then you are also out in public. You are of the people. You are one of the people. We might describe you as a member of the public. You can be a member of the public. So you are open, you are visible, you are in a public place. And when we think of public places, quite often we think of the high street, in your town centre, or maybe the neighbourhood where you live, if you are walking around the streets, in the area where you reside, where your house is. If you are walking around the streets, you are in the open, you are in a public place. A public place can also be an area that is reserved for people to meet. So we often think of a park, a public park, an area where people can sit down together and enjoy their time. You are out in the open. So maybe a person can be outside. A person can be out in the open. They are visible. You are in a place where you can be seen. So quite often we will talk about being in the open if we are talking about a person. So a person can be out in the open. You can see that person. Also, maybe a piece of information or something that has been divulged or something that has been released or told to many people. Can also be out in the open. Maybe you have a secret. Maybe you have a secret that you've never told anyone. But one day you decide to tell everyone what your secret is. We might say that your secret, the thing that you have kept private, is now out in the open. So that particular phrase can refer to a person physically being outside or information that is now known, something that now people are aware of. They know it. They know that it is happening, or maybe something that you are feeling. Here's an interesting phrase, and you've probably heard this when we are talking about ownership of maybe movies or music. In the public domain, when we say that something is in the public domain, what we are saying is that something is publicly available to everyone or for everyone. So maybe a piece of music that can be used or listened to by anyone, anywhere, is in the public domain. Quite often old movies. So if a movie is over a certain age, it means it is in the public domain. It means there is no longer any copyright on that particular thing. Things that have been released into the public domain are things that are available for anyone to use. So maybe a piece of information, or maybe some video footage or a film clip, something that shows an historic moment taking place, might be in the public domain. It is available for everyone to use and access. There are many different types of music that might be in the public domain. Again, if it is something that is over a certain age, I think here in the UK, if a piece of music or maybe a movie is over 75 years old, I think it's 75 years old. So anything older than 75 years automatically becomes the public domain. It means the copyright is released, so anyone can use it. So that is an interesting phrase. For something to be in the public domain, the area where it can be used, the space in which you are free to use it however you want. Something that is visible to others is in the public domain. It is on show. So when we say that something is on show, we are saying that it can be seen. You are on show. You are putting something on public display. So when we say on show, it means we are putting something on display for others to see. Display, show. You are showing something to other people. It is visible to others. It is something that is public. It is public. As I said earlier, you have a public space or a public place. It is a place that is open for all people. Anyone can go there. Anyone can visit that place. It is a public place. We sometimes say public space as well. So an area that everyone is free to move around in. Of course, an area where people can gather together can also be a public place. Lots of people can gather in one place. Here's another word. This is publicity. Oh. So when you think about publicity, often we will think about information that is given to the general public, to the public, something that you want people to know about or to hear about, maybe certain types of information. So it is publicity. Maybe you see it on a billboard. Maybe you read it in a newspaper. Maybe you see it on the television. Publicity. It is normally information that is given out quite often as a form of advertising. So if you want people to know about your product or your service, quite often you will have publicity. So you can see you have the word public contained in that word. Publicity. You are exposing, you are showing, you are passing information to the public. It is publicity. Hello, Roxy. Mr. Duncan, your English is polite and perfect. You are the best teacher that I know. Thank you, Roxy. That's very kind of you to say. We are talking about words connected to public, being in public. You might expose or reveal something. Ooh. Maybe a piece of information, maybe some news about yourself. Also, you can expose a thing, an item. You expose something. You reveal something. You make that thing public. You are allowing everyone to see that thing. Expose, reveal. You are showing something to people. And it can be many things, many different things. Hello to my nephew. Oh, my nephew is here watching. Hello, Kyle. Kyle is here. Hi, Kyle. Nice to see you. Hope everything is okay there where you are. And I hope you are still studying despite all the crazy things that have been going on in the world. And let's face it, there are many things going on in the world, many crazy things happening right now. I don't think you need me to tell you what they are, but there are many strange things happening. Hello, Kyle. Nice to see you. Hello also to Anor. Hi, Mr. Duncan. Your English is clear and pure. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you to say. Hello also to Carthy. Hello, Carthy. Oh, Alperen says, hello, Mr. Duncan. My mum who is ill, her name is Belgin Sultan. Can you please say hello? Hello to Alperen's mother called Belgin Sultan. I hope you feel better soon. Get well soon. I'm sorry to hear that you are not very well at the moment. So I wish you a speedy recovery. Get well soon, please. You might show yourself in public. If you show yourself, again, you reveal yourself to other people. To be in the public eye. If you are in the public eye, it means you can be seen by other people. You might say that I am in the public eye. Because I stand in front of my camera 3 times a week talking about English, over a period of time, more and more people might get to know who you are. They will be interested in watching your lessons. And of course, that means I have revealed myself to the public. So even though you can't see me in person, you can see me on your computer or your mobile device. So it's very interesting that to show yourself, to reveal yourself, can often lead to many people knowing who you are. And by that we mean that you are in the public eye. People can see you. You might also be on show. You might also be on show. When we say that a person is on show, it means they can be seen. You are on show. You are there for other people to see. You put yourself on show. You reveal yourself as a public figure. Apparently, I'm slightly embarrassed by this, but apparently on Facebook, I am a public figure. Apparently, I have one of those little magic blue ticks on my Facebook page. And apparently it means that I'm a public figure. However, I don't see myself as a public figure. I don't see myself as a famous person, even though people keep telling me. I hope you and Steve are well. Thank you, Kyle. We are great, even though at the moment I'm suffering from hay fever. And yes, that's all it is. It's hay fever, nothing else. It is one of the worst things you can have at this time of year, especially when the weather is gorgeous. Unfortunately for me, summer can be a little bit of a curse, unfortunately. So yes, we are okay, and I hope you and your family are all right as well. I hope everyone there in Stafford are okay too. You might also be in the public gaze. The public gaze. So if you gaze at something, you are looking. You gaze. You look. You stare. To be able to see people or a person or a thing, you look at it. So we will say that a person who is well known is in the public gaze. Maybe as a celebrity. So a person who is famous, well known, a person who has accomplished something amazing might be in the public gaze. They can be seen by many people. They are well known. They are a celebrity. I'm not sure if being famous is a good idea, to be honest. I'm not sure if I want to be famous, if I was perfectly honest with you. Yes. As I mentioned earlier, when you are out in public, you are amongst other people. You are amongst other people. Amongst other people. So that means that you are somewhere that can be seen. Somewhere where people can see you. Not only that, but you are also surrounded by people. So you are amongst people. And this is one of the things that was causing a problem during the... Many people were being told that they can't see others. They cannot be amongst people. They cannot be with other people. However, as I mentioned, that is all starting to change. Here in the UK, apparently now, you can be near 6 other people. So you have to have 6 other people around you. And these are people that you can be familiar with. You can be close to them. You can see them. You can say hello to them. You can talk to them. So I believe here in the UK we have relaxed the rules. However, there are still some rules that you have to follow. So, for example, you have to be 2 meters away from other people. So that particular rule is still in place. You can still go out, you can see people, but you must keep your distance. You must stay far away from them. Oh, it's very interesting. Apparently my nephew is starting to chat to the live chatters. Interesting. I like it. Don't try to take over, or else I'll have to have something to say about that. Hello, Karan Kareem. I have received an email spam from PayPal. Yes, well, that might not be a real notice. So that's nothing to do with me. I get spam all the time. I get hundreds and hundreds of fake emails every week. Can you imagine? So as soon as you make your email public, you will get lots and lots of fake emails. So even though that email says it is from PayPal, it might not be. It might be a fake email. So that's nothing to do with me. Definitely not. I can promise that. You can be out and about. When a person is out and about, it means they are mixing socially. They are out and about. You are moving around freely amongst other people. Around, out and about. You are going around. You might visit a certain place. You might visit certain people. You might go to your favourite beauty spot. You might decide to get into your car and drive all the way to Durham, perhaps. Yes. Hello, Andy Starr. Paul McCartney is in the public gaze. Yes, well, he's been a celebrity for many years, since the mid-1960s. So yes, he is definitely in the public eye. I think that's safe to say. The general public, when we talk about the general public, we are saying the people, the general public. So when you walk out of your house, the people that surround you in the streets, the people that you meet in your everyday life, they are the general public. The general public is the population of the area in which you live, or the population of the country, the general public. So we often talk about the general public as the average person, or maybe the person who lives in a certain place. However, we talk about everyone. We are talking about everyone that exists, the general public. So maybe you want to give some information, some important information to everyone. You will give it to the general public. You will tell the general public about something. Here's another one. Oh, here is something that you have not been allowed to do recently. You have not been allowed to have public gatherings. Meeting together as a group or a crowd, people have been banned. They've been prohibited from meeting in large groups. However, recent events in the world have meant that many people have decided to forget about that, and they are now all gathering together for various reasons, and I'm sure you know what they are. I'm sure you know exactly what they are. Tamara, how old is your nephew? Oh, why? You seem very interested suddenly in my nephew. Should I be worried about that? Should I? Andy says, I want to be out and about. I'm an out and about person. Well, that's a good thing to be. When you are out and about, of course, if you are out and about, it means you are moving around, which is good for your health, of course. We often talk about a busy area. So when we are in a gathering, it doesn't necessarily mean something that has been organised. So maybe if you go to a concert, that is an organised gathering. However, if you are in a busy place, you can also describe that as a gathering, a group of people who have gone to a certain place for a certain reason, such as a shopping centre or a shopping mall. So all the people that have gone shopping have gone for the same reason. They are in a large gathering. A group of people are all together. Tias says, we are gathering on your YouTube channel. Yes, I suppose you are. Albeit through the internet. But yes, I suppose this is a virtual gathering, isn't it, really, when you think about it? So it's not a real gathering, it is virtual. And let's face it, many people over the past few weeks have been staring into their web camera as if they are hypnotized by that one eye staring at them. So yes, many people have been using their web cameras recently. You are right, definitely. Gathering on the internet. A good example of a place that might be busy, might have a lot of people, a bustling high street. I like this word, bustling. When we say that a place is bustling, it means it is busy. It is a place where lots of people are moving around quickly. Many people there are active, busy. So the word bustle means to be active and busy. You are moving around a lot. So when we say a bustling high street, it means people are moving around quickly. They're all busy. They have their own things to do. They are all going about their own business. They are doing their own things. Soon, here in the UK, we are going to have our bustling high street returned. On the 15th of June, many large shops are going to reopen. So that is going to happen here in the UK on the 15th of June. Things are slowly but surely getting back to normal. So very soon we will have our bustling high streets. Once more they will return. Here are some phrases now that we can use. Phrases connected with the public. For example, you might say that someone or something is a danger to the public. So if a person or a thing is a danger to the public, it means it is something that people have to look out for. You have to be very wary of that particular thing. A danger to the public. And again, there is one particular thing that I can think of that has been a danger to the public. We all know what it is. Yes, that one. Another word, maybe you have a public outrage. A lot of people become angry about an incident or something that has happened. For example, I suppose the dreadful events that have taken place in the United States recently, and now many people are feeling angry. There is a public outrage. So when we talk about public outrage, it is people who are coming out to show their anger. So you might do it physically, you might also do it by writing an email. Maybe you send a letter to your local MP or your local political representative. So public outrage, anger that is shown publicly. And that is one thing that has been happening very sadly in the United States over the past few days. Public discourse. Now this is an interesting phrase. You will often hear people talk about public discourse. Discourse means conversation. You are talking about a certain thing, maybe a certain issue, a certain problem that won't go away. So you are talking about something that is a public issue. And when you have a problem, you will often have public discourse. You will talk about a certain thing in a certain way. Public conversation. Maybe there is a topic that everyone wants to talk about. And let's face it, there are quite a few topics that we are talking about at the moment in the world. I don't think you need me to tell you again, but they are quite obvious. Another one, a show of public emotion. Oh, I like this one. So if people want to show how they feel, maybe in a large group, I suppose a good example would be when Princess Diana died. So when Princess Diana was killed in 1997, there was a public show or a show of public emotion. Many people came out. They came out into the streets. They came out to talk about their feelings. So a show of public emotion. People are showing how they feel in a large group. Many people these days will often go onto the internet to show their emotions. So in 1997, most people didn't have the internet or didn't have computers, and there were no social media sites in 1997. Can you believe that? So the only way we could do it was by going out. So that is why public emotion can sometimes be put on show. People will come out. They will express how they feel publicly. A show of public emotion. Here are some words relating to the opposite. So we have public, which can be seen, and we have the opposite, which is private. Public, you can see it. It is there. Private, it is hidden. It is secret. You cannot see it. It is something that is withheld, something that you can't see. Public, open. Private, closed. And you can have in public, and also you can have in private. In public, in private. Something that can be seen by other people is in public. Something that can't be seen is in private. In public, in private. In politics, there are quite often meetings, negotiations, and talks that take place in private. They are kept secret. We cannot see what is going on. Then we have publicly or publicity. So things that can be seen, things that are obvious. So when we talk about publicity, once again, we are talking about things that are revealed. They are revealed publicly. They can be seen by everyone. And then the opposite, of course, is privacy. Something that is not shown. We all believe that privacy is an important thing. We all have a right to our privacy. So when you go in your house, you have privacy. People cannot invade your privacy. They can't listen to the conversations that you are having. They can't watch you secretly. You have your privacy. That's an interesting word, and a word that we have been hearing quite a lot recently. Then we have, once again, public and private. Public property and private property. So public property is something we can all go to visit. Maybe a museum or a library. It is public. It means you can go in. You can go into that building or into that place and you can visit freely. Then we have the opposite, private property. Private property is something that belongs to an individual. For example, a person's house. So at night when you go to bed, you lock your doors and you lock your windows. Inside that house is private property. So you can't go into that house, you can't break in, you can't walk in, because that is private property. And that's it for now. That is it. Those are all the words relating to public and private. So when you think of public, we talk about things that are open and can be seen. When we talk about private, they are things that cannot be seen. They are withheld. They are kept back. They are things that are done in secret. It's almost time for me to go today. It is a short one today because I'm not feeling great, unfortunately. I wasn't even sure if I was going to be here today because my hay fever has been really bad for the past couple of days. I can't begin to tell you how many times I've been sneezing. It's a lot of times. Hello, Laurie Lieberman. Oh, this is interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing what you have to say. Let's have a look. Laurie, yo mama so. Yes, I think so. I agree. Well, my mama so as well. I must be honest. I think so. Hello, Rakesh. Hello also to Corrie. Hello, Corrie, who says hello to Francesca. Nice to see you here as well. It is almost time for me to go. Unfortunately, my voice is starting to go. I know I'm normally here for 2 hours and I will hopefully be back with you on Friday. I am with you on Friday from 2 p.m. UK time, and then I hope by then my throat will be feeling better. So I don't have anything serious for those who are worried. It's nothing serious. It is hay fever, which is something I get every year when the pollen goes up my nose. So it's nothing to do with nothing to do with that whatsoever. Marilda is here. Oh, hello, Marilda. Nice to see you as well. Hello to Tui Vo Ti Tuan. Oh, I hear your voice. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that you can hear my voice, even though at the moment it is not very well. One of the things that hay fever does, it attacks your throat. Not only your nose, not only your eyes, but also your throat as well. It is not very nice. Andy says there is no private property in Russia. Really? I know in China it's very similar. In China, public property can be taken away at any time. Hello also to Zakaria. Nice to see you here. I am going in a moment because I'm not feeling great today. I'll be honest with you. I've had so many things go wrong. I've had people come to the house. I won't tell you why, but I will tell you later. It's nothing serious before you start asking questions. Nothing serious, okay? My computer had problems. My technology was not working. And also my throat is not working as well. Hello, Mikhail. I watch your videos more and more, Mr. Duncan. Well, I'm glad to hear that. If you want to give me a little like, you are more than welcome to do so. Give me a like. And if you like what you see, subscribe as well. Why not? It is quite harmless. Nothing bad will happen. In fact, you might find that you will enjoy the English language more and more the more you watch me. I had a very interesting message earlier. Mr. Steve appears to pamper you. Me? Really? Well, it is true. Mr. Steve does treat me very well. He makes nice meals sometimes, but of course I do things for him as well. So I also like to pamper Mr. Steve. So it isn't just Steve doing all of the pampering. If you pamper someone, it means you treat them very well. You always give them something nice. You take good care of someone. You pamper them. There is a brand of diaper called Pamper or Pampers as well, which I love. I love that name and I love that word. So yes, it is true. Mr. Steve does enjoy pampering me. He pampers me quite a lot. You are right. Mr. Duncan deserves plenty of likes. So come on, says Curry. Thank you very much. Sandra, Mr. Duncan, please can you eat some honey for your throat? Thank you, Sandra. I will be having a hot drink in a few moments. So as soon as my live stream finishes, which it will soon, in a few moments, I am going to have a hot drink. Thanks for your effort, Mr. Duncan, and I hope you feel better soon. Me too. I hope so as well. When you sneeze, your skull pressure drops, so it's not as bad. When I sneeze, everything happens. As you get older, have you heard about this? As you get older, when you sneeze, everything happens. Your whole body relaxes and releases. It's not nice, trust me. See you later, Kyle. Thank you very much. Uncle Duncan. Oh my goodness. For a moment there, I felt very old. Uncle Duncan. See you later, Kyle. Thank you, Laurie. This guy is the beast. The beast. Do you mean the best or the beast? There is one thing I'm definitely not. I'm definitely not a beast. Thank you, Zakara. Thank you, Lewis. Thank you also, Anna Rita. I have given my thumbs up to Mr. Duncan. Thank you very much. See you on Friday. I will be back on Friday. I won't be doing any dancing today because I don't have the energy or the will, to be honest. Catch you on Friday rather, 2 p.m. UK time. And of course, I'm also on Sunday as well. Thanks for joining me today. It's been very nice having you here. Thank you also, Tamara. Oh, hello, Tamara. Nice to see you again. Tanya, Uncle Duncan. Can you believe? This is something you might not believe. I am also now a great uncle. Can you believe that? So not only am I an uncle, I am also a great uncle. Because one of my nephews has a child. And that makes me a great uncle. Oh, God, I feel so old. Thank you, T.S. Thank you, Maria. Maria also has hay fever, by the way, and it can be very painful. Thanks a lot for your lessons for another day. That's all right, no problem. I'm pleased to be here, even though I am not 100% well, as you can hear, because I'm slowly losing my voice. Before I go, I will say thanks for your company. Can I also say once more, thank you very much. A special thank you to Anna Pekarosi and also Petros Dimitriadis for your lovely donations on PayPal. Thank you very much for that. I do appreciate it. Very kind of you. Back on Friday. Eric says, I admire your consistency. He can be happy, ill, stressed or sad, but he is always here. Well, I always try my best to be here. Maybe one day I won't be here. In fact, I'm pretty sure one day I won't be here, apparently. JC Geordie says, we love you. Thank you very much. Catch you later. Thanks for your company. I hope you've enjoyed today's live stream. I am going to leave you with those beautiful shots of the baby birds having a bath. See you later. Take care. Catch you on Friday from 2 p.m. UK time. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of English saying thanks for watching. See you later. And of course, until the next time we meet here on YouTube, stay safe, stay happy, and of course, ta-ta for now.
Psst.